At a center! Quick! March!
Pledge of Allegiance.
Present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Here to sing our national anthem is Police Officer Reggie Irizarry.
They proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star space.
What a phone.
Please remain.
Under Commissioner Gardner's leadership, and the brass here in Yonkers has helped our city become a safer city each year. 31% decrease in crime since the year 2012, and we are now the safest, the third safest large city of its size in all of America. Thanks to each and every officer. Truly is a great honor to be here with the brave men and women of our Yonkers Police Department who on a daily basis protect our families and safeguard our neighborhoods. You know, the Yonkers Police Department is such an integral part of the everyday fabric of our community. It's easy for us to actually take you guys for granted. I use that word loosely, guys and ladies. It's easy for us to take you for granted. But this week, it's about taking time out of our busy schedules to recognize those men and women in blue who go out each and every day, put that uniform on with honor, in honor of the people that they protect and serve. Each and every day, putting yourself potentially in harm's way, but doing so with dignity. Police agencies and community leaders who are being awarded today, and collectively, you make Yonkers a better place to live, work, and play. I know you'll also be honoring those who lost their lives, and to Lieutenant Roy McLaughlin.
You know, tonight we celebrate National Police Week, and we have a special opportunity to formally recognize members of our department for acts of heroism, exceptional police work, and selfless deeds while helping others. We get to say thank you for a job well done. We also get the chance to recognize some of our well-deserving law enforcement partners and even members of the community for their accomplishments and extraordinary community service. As many of you are aware, this has been a pretty tough year for law enforcement. High-profile events that have occurred around the country have placed intense scrutiny on our police officers, making a very difficult job even harder to do.
Also, Police Officer John Silvestri. Sorry, John. There's a lot of names listed here. To the scene of a serious motor vehicle accident where a small vehicle, which was occupied by 3 individuals, one of which was a 5-year-old girl, was wedged underneath a large tractor trailer. Without waiting for assistance, Officer Sabatello had taken action and was able to extricate the 5-year-old girl. A rollover motor vehicle accident off the Springbrook Parkway that was partially submerged in water. Upon arrival, the officers found the driver pinned in the vehicle, suffering from a head injury, open bone fractures, and he was bleeding heavily. The detectives began their investigation, and through interviews and video surveillance, they were able to track down 2 suspects. Both the victim and witnesses later became uncooperative, and detectives had the task of ensuring a conviction based solely on evidence and tests. Developed information regarding a male who was responsible for committing numerous larceny from autos. It was also determined that this person had an active warrant out of New Windsor, New York. Assigned the difficult task of solving a homicide with only a vague description of a vehicle and cell phone video. He displayed intelligent police work by utilizing social media and the Intel Center to identify possible witnesses and suspects. While working in plain clothes under surveillance, he observed the male remove a handgun from his pants. The officer approached the suspect, who attempted to flee. During a struggle to detain the suspect's vest fell to the ground, and the suspect called to another male to grab the vest. The officer was quickly able to recover the vest and place the suspect in custody. While conducting a traffic stop, a passenger exited the vehicle fleeing on foot, holding onto a bulge in his jacket. The suspect was known to be a gang member who could possibly possess a firearm. Upon arresting the male, the officers recovered a loaded handgun, .380 caliber handgun, from his jacket pocket and several bags of marijuana and counterfeit bills. Officers are awarded certificates of excellent police work. They responded to a stabbing that had just occurred. Piers McGartland and Atkinson, upon arrival, found a female stabbed in the neck. They immediately rendered first aid and aired a description of the suspect, and Richard Serrano. These officers responded to an entry in progress, and at scene they encountered one suspect running out of the residence. The suspect was stopped and placed under arrest. Upon searching the home, the officers found a second suspect hiding under a couch, and that suspect was also placed under arrest without incident. When questioned further by detectives, it was determined that these 2 suspects were responsible for several other burglaries in the 4th precinct. They recognized a male wanted in connection for a recent shooting, at which time they engaged in a foot pursuit of the male. The suspect was able to make it into an apartment, and the officers immediately set up a perimeter. Out of a violent dispute, the officers found one suspect choking another male at the scene. The officers immediately removed the suspect and placed him under arrest, and they began to perform CPR on the victim, who was found to be in a lifeless state. These are awarded commendations. While on patrol, they observed a vehicle fitting the description of one being used in an armed robbery earlier in the tour. When they attempted to stop the vehicle, one occupant exited the vehicle and began to flee. This suspect was observed throwing a dark-colored object into a yard. These officers responded to an entry in progress. Upon arrival, they observed 2 males exit the property, after which a foot pursuit ensued, and one suspect was arrested for burglary. They are awarded certificates of excellent police work for their efforts. These officers responded to a call of a man with a gun, and while checking the building, they came into contact with the suspect, who was in fact holding a gun. At this time, the suspect dropped the weapon and ran. While on patrol and in the area of Harriet Street, this officer observed smoke coming out of 53 and 55 Harriet Street. He immediately notified headquarters and responded to 55 Harriet Street, evacuating all residents of the building before the arrival of the fire department. While on a routine traffic stop, these officers noticed 2 tires and rims in the rear seat, and although the driver had a plausible explanation, the officers recorded all of the information. Later, they found a vehicle with 2 tires missing, and the officers located the suspect's vehicle again and was able to place both suspects under arrest. These officers obtained information of a male selling handguns and would be meeting a red Geo Prism at a specific time. These officers were able to set up surveillance and knew the individual who was driving the vehicle from prior contact. Once this male entered the vehicle with a black bag, the officers attempted to stop them, at which time a vehicle pursuit ensued. At one point, the male threw the black bag from the vehicle, and these officers were able to convey this information to the canine units involved. After the vehicle was stopped and a brief foot pursuit, the suspects were placed under arrest and the handgun was recovered by the canine. A unit citation, and Officer Thomas Bragg is awarded a certificate of excellent police work. They observed a vehicle traveling erratically, and upon stopping the vehicle, they smelled an odor of marijuana emanating. The driver gave the officers permission to search the vehicle, which yielded a cylinder containing 12 twists of crack cocaine and a Smith & Wesson .38 caliber revolver. Captain Behan, while following up a recent larceny of auto investigation, discovered that the suspect vehicle registered on a license plate reader on the Yonkers-Bronx border. Having knowledge of a nearby area that is commonly used to abandon stolen autos, the captain canvassed and discovered the auto in question. These officers are awarded a certificate of excellent police work. They responded to the area of Bronx River Road on a report of a vehicle matching the description of a vehicle involved in a shots fired call earlier in the week. These officers were able to locate the vehicle, and upon stopping it, the officers observed a loaded handgun, a .380 caliber, on the floor of the vehicle, and they arrested 5 occupants. Officers are awarded a unit citation. On September 23, 2015, there was a robbery at Cross County Center. These officers exhibited highly intelligent police work, working together to capture the suspect in the confines of the 4th Precinct, and to also link the suspect through DNA evidence which was found at the crime scene to this particular crime. The DNA was also linked to 2 previous crimes, robbery and 1 rape. These officers are awarded a unit citation. These officers responded to a report of a stabbing. At scene, the officers worked in a cohesive effort to arrest 3 of the 4 suspects after the suspects fled in a vehicle and then on foot. The 4th suspect was identified and apprehended by the diligent police work of the detectives. Due to coordination of effort of all involved from all the different commands, these dangerous suspects were taken off the streets of Yonkers. These officers are awarded a unit citation. They worked together in locating and apprehending a bank robbery suspect. Due to their intelligent and keen observations, they were able to arrest this male after a brief pursuit and a violent struggle. Officers are awarded a certificate of excellent police work. They responded to a call of an emotionally disturbed person. At the scene, they encountered an irate female on the 4th floor fire escape threatening to jump. These officers noticed that she was unsteady on her feet and at a great risk of falling or jumping. They exhibited great discipline, skill, and tact when they were able to subdue and secure. Dave was awarded a certificate of excellent police work. While responding to the area of a reported stolen vehicle, he observed the vehicle traveling in the opposite direction. These officers are awarded a certificate of excellent police work. While conducting a traffic stop, these officers recognized a driver from a recent officer safety bulletin, which was warning of a suspect driving around with loaded handguns. These officers are both awarded certificates of excellent police work. While on patrol, these officers found a male rummaging through a vehicle. This male is known to have a lengthy criminal history, and upon checking with headquarters, the vehicle was not yet reported stolen, but these officers decided to check further and called the 34th Precinct in the Bronx. After contacting the 34th Precinct, they found that this vehicle was in fact stolen and had not been reported yet. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the awards portion of our program. We'd like to thank everyone for attending this evening's event, and I ask that you please proceed over to the Police and Fire Memorial Monument, where Lieutenant Anthony Chiarella will lead us in the memorial service. Please be careful and watch your step going up to the memorial, and please take a candle on your way. Thank you.